notice it's the same way. I would check the tires, the rim, the brake system, the suspension system, the same as I did on the other side. And I would also check the same on the rear. The only difference with the rear being that the rear has duals. I would be checking to see if there's anything between the duals or if the duals are rubbing.
Okay.
Other than that, those portions are exactly the same. So if we move on to the steering components, we had some of the steering components on the other side. To finish them off this side here, we notice that this here connects up through the body into the steering wheel. That connects to the steering box. So I have the steering box in here. Got hoses connected to that and the fittings. So any hose, again, I'm looking for the condition of it, looking to see if it's, frayed. Looking at the connectors to make sure that those are solid. I don't want to see any leaks out of the system. The steering box, coming out of the steering box is the pitman arm. So the pitman arm here connects the steering box with the steering linkage tie rod, if you will. Because of the way these are hooked on here, the rotational movement is allowed. But again, any up and down motion or any side to side motion would put that out of service immediately. On the Quantums, the steering box is mounted on the axle. So you won't see this big arm here. It looks like this piece here that connects down to the steering box.
Okay.
But because of the way the force is transferred from the gear system in here, you need a much stronger piece after the steering box. We've got the power steering fluid. This one does not have a sight gauge, so you need to explain. I would pull the dipstick, make sure the fluid level is between the add and the full mark. And then we've also got automatic transmission fluid, ATF. This is the only fluid that we need to check with the motor running and the engine in neutral. The one last thing here is the air compressor. So the air compressor for the brake system, it's easily identifiable because it's the only one that connects with the steel braided cable.
Okay.
Because of the high pressure, we have to have that steel braided cable. So if you follow that up, that's going to be the air compressor. Always just making sure that that's present, which hopefully you know because we did the brake check. Either on top of the compressor or in this case right behind it is going to be this little solenoid here. This is the governor. This is the actual brains for the air compressor. So you'll notice it's on top of the compressor or behind it. It's usually got this little rubber cap on it. So that's kind of how you identify the governor itself. That's the brains of the compressor there. I think that's it, unless I missed anything on the sheet.